This Sunday we are remembering Passion Sunday, when Jesus began his journey to Calvary. It's a very long gospel, so you can read that yourself. I've just highlighted one section of it. Luke chapter 23, verses 13 to 23. Pilate called together the chief priests, the leaders, and the people, and said to them, "You brought this man to me and said that he was misleading the people. Now I have examined him here in your presence, and I have not found him guilty of any of the crimes you accuse him of. Nor did Herod find him guilty, for he sent him back to us. There is nothing this man has done to deserve death, so I will have him whipped and let him go." The whole crowd cried out, "Kill him! Set Barabbas free for us." Barabbas had been put in prison for a riot that had taken place in the city and for murder. Pilate wanted to set Jesus free, so he appealed to the crowd again. But they shouted back, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Pilate said to them the third time, "But what crime has he committed? I cannot find anything he has done to deserve death. I will have him whipped and set him free." But they kept on shouting at the top of their voices that Jesus should be crucified, and finally their shouting prevailed. So Pilate passed the sentence on Jesus that they were asking for. He set free the man that they wanted, the one who had been put in prison for riot and murder, and he handed Jesus over for them to do as they wished. And we all know the end of that story. Jesus was indeed crucified. When you dig down through this section of the scriptures, it's got some amazing stuff in it. Here's Pilate, who actually sounded like quite a just man, because he could, at the first instance, have condemned to death Jesus, because he had the power to do it. But he said, no, this guy is okay, I can't do that. However, the crowd brayed even louder. It's like talkback radio, you know, when people get going and they get the bit between their teeth and the comments get worse and worse, and somebody gets really taken to shreds, or some group of people talking about migrants to our country, or gangs, or, you know, there are issues there, but they don't deserve to be as put down as they end up being. So the people get the bit between the teeth and away they go, and in the end Pilate buckles. I wonder how many of us buckle under that kind of pressure, and what could we do to maintain our integrity and not buckle. It might mean losing popularity. It might mean having people turn against us. But remember that Jesus said he came to bring the sword, meaning that people would attack us if we stood up for our principles. Jesus is totally the innocent party here, but he doesn't stand up and start yelling and screaming and telling them they're wrong. He understands the calling he has to his own integrity and maintains his silence. How do we react in the face of that kind of threat to us? How do we treat others who are a threat to us? What happens when a family comes to live next door to us who offends us in some way? Are we able to hold out the hand of reconciliation, bake a batch of scones or make a chocolate cake and take it over? Or do we just ignore them and refuse to talk to them forever and start playing loud music at 2 o'clock in the morning to upset them? I hope not. But that's the challenge here. Are we to be like Jesus and maintain our integrity? Or are we to be like Pilate and buckle under threat? Something to think about during Lent, and something to thank God for, that we have this lesson in our lives. As you go into this Holy Week coming up, maybe take a few minutes each day to reflect a little bit on some section of the Passion of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke. Just read the words carefully and sit quietly and just see what comes up inside. You don't have to furiously think about it. God will be with you in the reading. Many blessings.